In this video, we want to take a look at Archon, which is an AI agent to build, refine, and optimize AI agents. If you don't know what it is exactly and want to know more about it, just take a look at Cole Medin's introduction to this. I will link it right here somewhere, and then come back and I show you how to install it step by step in this video. So let's start. The first thing you have to do is to make sure you have all pre-requirements installed, which is Git, Docker, and Python. So just take a look at the links, install it, and then you are ready to go. Now, as we are done with the pre-requirements, we can go on with the actual installation. Therefore, go to the folder you want to clone your repo in, the Archon repository. Click here in the prompt, type cmd, press enter, and you got a terminal within this folder. So we can quickly verify the versions of our pre-requirements. So Git is installed, Docker is installed, and Python as well. So that's fine. You can clear the screen with CLS. And then we can go on with the cloning. So on the right side, you can see my task list. So let's go through it. I will link the task list as well in the description. And we just copy the Git repository. Yes, we want to paste it. And as you can see, it cloned the repository. You can, by the way, right click here in the terminal to paste it. And then we can just go into the folder. The command is already there from the copy, and we are good to go. With here, we can take a look at the folder files and directories. So this looks good. And we can check this and go to the Docker installation. So let's take a look at my Docker instance. So just open your Docker desktop, what you installed before. I have some other stuff, but for you it's maybe empty if you didn't use it before. And what we now can do is go back to our terminal. Let's do it a little bit bigger here. Let's clean it up again. And we copy the Python run docker py command from the task list. Press enter. And it will now start up the Archon container. So if you go to your Docker desktop again, you will see it created this Archon container, which is now starting up. You can click on it to see the logs. And it's already up and running. So let's check this in the task list. And yeah, that's one option to install it. That's the official one from the docs. So if we quickly take a look at the Git repository from Archon, then you can see it here. But I'm not actually sure why this needed to run this via Python, because we could also just do it via Docker Compose. So then you wouldn't need to install Python at all if you don't need it for other stuff. So let's try this as well. So I delete this container. Close this one. We go in the Archon folder, right click, new file, docker compose.yaml. Yes, we want to create this file. Then you open it in editor of your choice. I have Notepad++. Then just copy here the Docker Compose settings. As you can see, here are two services in the MCP. It's commented because at the moment we don't need it. That's for the integration in Cursor, etc. later. But on here is the configuration to build the Docker file and then start up the container. So let's save this. Go back to our container and do docker compose up -d. Press enter. Okay, it just says the version is obsolete. Okay, that's maybe not needed anymore, but so it's meant this one. So you can just delete it as well and save. And we can go back to Docker. Oh, it did not start yet, so let's check. Let's do it again without the version. It depends on the MCP file server, so let's quickly fix this. You can comment this in with Control Q, but I will correct this here in the task list before I release the video. What we also could do if we don't need this part here, so comment back and remove the depends on MCP, save, and then let's try again. Okay, the Docker container needs the .env file, so we can create this. Here's an example in the actual cloned directory. So we can just remove the .example here, press enter. Let's take a look into this file. And as you can see here, you can define your keys here if you want to do. So let's close this for now and try to start up again. You can, by the way, with arrow up and down, switch between the history commands. So you don't have to type again and again. So just fire it up, and as you can see, it now started the Archon container and it's up and running. Let's check the logs. Okay, it's up. So this is done as well. Let's move it out of the way so we can check this in a task list as well. So you have two options to run it. As I said, Python is the official one from the docs, and I created this Docker file. So maybe Cole will create it as well later. I don't know if it makes any problems. I didn't see some. Okay, then we can go to the next step. Open the URL in the browser. Let's just tick this, open my browser. Let me move it here. And paste it here. And as you can see, Archon is up and running. Okay, the next thing we need to do is set up the environment. So we have to configure our API keys and model settings. And yeah, therefore we can here click on intro, scroll a little bit down. Then there's a guide how to do it. So the first step is to set these variables. So go here to environment section. Looks like the link is not working here for me at the moment. But we can go here on the left side to environment, and you can see all variables here we need to set. Okay, I will quickly get my keys. Let me check here on the other screen. And then we can just fill it out. So here is a little info box you can hover, and you see different examples for setting it up. We will now use OpenAI, as at the moment, at least for the embeddings, OpenAI is required. I don't know why it is, and you can't use something else, but that's how it is at the moment. So you have to have OpenAI API key as well. So let's just use OpenAI here. Then I copy my OpenAI key here as well. So you need to get this from OpenAI from your backend. Create a key if you don't have one, and paste it here. The same here. So both are OpenAI keys at the moment. And the next step is the Supabase URL. So if you don't have a Supabase set up at the moment, then you have to create one. So go to supabase.com, create an account if you don't have one. If you're logged in, you can go to the dashboard. If you don't have a project already, you can create one. With the free account, you can run 2 projects. You can have multiple projects, more than 2, but as you can see here, they are paused, so that's okay. But you can only have 2 active ones. Okay, if you go then into a project, I have a Bolt project here, but it doesn't matter. So it's empty, I guess. No, there's already the sites page because I tried this before for Archon. And we now go to project settings. Here on the left side in the menu, project settings. And then we can, oh, let me check, that's the wrong one. Normally it should be here, but I think they moved the part where the keys are. So let me quickly check where it is. Okay, here it is. It's here under project settings, and then go to data API, and there you got all informations you need. So in this case, we need the project URL, which is this one. Just click copy, go back to Archon, and paste the project URL here. You also got an example here where you can get this information. So it's basically a settings API, which is project settings data API. And then we need the project key as well. Let me check here. It says we need the service key, so we would need the secret one, as far as I know. Let's copy this one as well. Paste it here. For the reasoner model, you can also check here again. You can take O3 Mini or another model. We take O3 Mini here, as we are on OpenAI. Then let's go here. For the primary model, we can take GPT-4o Mini. Let's paste this here. And for the embedding model, for OpenAI, it's suggested to use text embedding 3 small. So let's copy and paste this here, and then we save the environment variables. Okay, as you can see, everything is fine, and we can go over to the next step. Here's one more information. If you have trouble with the site and did something wrong and saved, then you might have the case that you can't do anything in the UI again, because then there is error. And then you have just the possibility to go to the place where the environment variables are stored and edit it directly. And this is here in utils, I guess it was. Maybe it moved, but it was under utils and vars.json. Okay, we checked this as well. Let's go to the next step. This is the database setup, so we can go here to database on the left side. No, we don't want to save. Then you can here get some information about the table. and you can here choose the embedding dimension. If you click here on or hover the info icon again, it will say 1536 for OpenAI, which is fine for us. So that's okay. And then you can here see the View SQL dropdown accordion. And what we need to do is copy this SQL statement, go back to Supabase, here in the SQL editor on the left side, and then just paste it in, and then go on the right bottom here on run. For me, it said it's already existing, and for you, it will get a success. As I said, I tested this before with this, and yeah. Then if you go back to table editor, you will see here the side pages. So the step is fine, and the database is created properly. Yeah. Here you could also get additional information. So if you have already the sites page as me, you could drop it with this and then execute it to recreate it. So this is fine. So we can skip this. Okay, let's take a look at the intro again. We did the database setup. And now we can go to step 3, which is documentation crawling. So we go to documentation here on the left side, and then click Crawl by Pydanctic AI Docs. As you can see, it will now start crawling the Pydanctic dev page and hopefully index or write everything to our database. So let's wait until this is ready, and then we can go on with the next steps. Okay, as you can see here, it's now finished and the crawl process is successful. We indexed 350 pages. And if we go now back to Supabase, we can see here in the table editor, and then side pages, here is everything indexed correctly. So it filled the Supabase table. So this is fine. So we can go back and go to the next step. We did these two already, and if we go to the intro, we can also see the next step, which is start the agentic service setup. So let's do this. Go to agentic service here on the left side in the menu and start it up. Okay, it started up successfully. Here have some logs, and yeah, this is fine. And now we can go to the chat and test if it works. Let's do hi. As you can see here on top, it's running. So hopefully something comes back soon. You can also, there it is. So let's try the example. Here's an example prompt. So let's try this one. Okay, there was an error. So at the moment, this is not working for me. I don't know why. Okay, I'm back. I figured it out. So the problem was my hi prompt before to test if anything is come back, but it makes some problems. So you have to directly put in the example in this case, or your prompt for creating an AI agent. So let's just do this and fire the prompt directly. So you can reload the page with Control R or F5 if you have the same problem to clear the chat, and then try it again. Okay, it's running again. And while this is running, we can check this point in the checklist. It takes some while, but now there it is. So it's running, it's creating all files we need for our AI agent. Okay, that's it for this part. You can see everything is working with Archon. And yeah, you can also take a look at the future enhancements here, as Cole showed in his video. Yeah, there's a roadmap what is planned to implement in the future. Okay, as optional step, you can also configure your preferred IDE like Windsurf, Cursor, or Klein root code to work with Archon. Therefore, just choose your software here. So first go MCP on the left side, then choose your software. Then you get some configuration parameters. We have Docker in place at the moment, so copy the Docker command, then go, in my case, to Cursor, go to Settings on the top right, then go to MCP, and as you can see, I already have it here. If you don't have it, just add a new MCP server, give it a name, type this command, and paste the copied command in here. And then you will see it enables it. And if you go to your Docker setup, you will also see it created a new container which is running, which is the MCP server. As soon as this is done, you can close the settings. Make sure you choose agent here, and then you can paste the command from the chat again for the example and send it up. So for me, it's not working because it wants a pro account or business account. I don't have one. So for you, it should then call the MCP server. So it should show calling MCP server and then do the same as we saw in the chat. Yeah, that's it then for this guide. I hope it helped you. Let me know in the comments, and I would appreciate a like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.